We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot. Ah!
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise a pack of wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings. Woo! I couldn't hear a word you said there. I got
Shit.
I'm having computer issues, man. Thought we were done with this shit.
Never done, just on a hiatus.
Right. Well, I just meant that the system resource issue. All right, that should clear it up. All right, good deal. What up, dude?
You know, life and shit.
You know,
What's going on with you?
It has been a week of life and shit. No, actually, it's been a good week, man. Nothing crazy to write home about. Kiddo and I went to GalaxyCon tonight.
What's that?
Basically the
Some
Ohio,
nerdy shit?
Yeah, Ohio Comic Con.
Oh, that's what's up. I would have went there.
So, mostly just walked around like the exhibition halls. Although I will tell you,
Did you see any tits?
Oh, there's plenty of tits either in the artwork or in the costumes, dude.
I was about to say the costumes all over.
That's the number one reason to go to this shit, man.
Right, some nice rogue tits or something.
And for the former pro wrestling fans, let's see, Mick Foley was there, Mankind.
Okay, that's one of the ones I loved.
He was there. Nobody
had bigger balls than Mick Foley.
No, because he did the craziest shit.
Yeah, nobody had bigger balls than Mick Foley.
And nobody had bigger biceps than
Mark Henry.
No, he may be the world's strongest man, but nobody had bigger biceps.
Then Hulk Hogan.
No.
Then who?
The big bad booty daddy. Scott.
Who the
fucking Steiner. Scott Steiner?
God. I'm glad I stopped watching by the time the booty daddy came
Scott
out.
Scott Steiner
like he
was
to be involved on a Diddy case.
Scott Steiner was one of the most like roided out dudes ever, but he had like his peaks on his fucking biceps, like literally like this. Now he don't look like that anymore.
Daddy. What explain to me the name? I'm looking him up now.
Just look up Scott Steiner.
Will it explain to me Booty Daddy?
I don't know. It's what he used to say when he came out to the ring because he would always have a bunch of girls with him and shit. You know, typical pro wrestling nonsense.
Yeah, somebody should have told him that wasn't the right way to go about things.
But him and his brother were there. Lex Luger was there. Lex looks rough, dude. And then Arn Anderson
Okay, I don't know
there.
this guy.
Arn Anderson from the Four Horsemen was there too.
I don't know who that is either.
He was the quiet one in the Four Horsemen. He rode around with Ric Flair a lot.
Oh, okay.
But those were the big name celebs that I saw when I was there. I didn't walk the whole celebrity circuit. I'm gonna do that tomorrow and just see who's around and who's there. Usually there's a bunch of Star Trek actors are there. Power
Right.
Ranger actors, that kind of shit. But I honestly, what I go for the most part, like truthfully, in terms of like things that I'll end up getting while I'm there, is just it's art. Because there's a bunch of like the swords too. But the swords were like a one-time purchase because I don't have anywhere to put anymore.
Right. And God forbid a tornado or a earthquake happen in your fucking living room.
Right.
And you're going to be at a medieval jousting festival.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
don't think you have the proper chainmail to deal with a tornado.
Maybe that's what I need to get is chainmail. Cliff, thank you. I'm going to go buy some armor tomorrow now.
At least get a wooden shield, right? And put it on the wall by the couch because you're going to need to defend yourself if a tornado comes through that first floor.
No doubt. No doubt.
God forbid a tornado comes through the first floor. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, man. Well,
But
you know, we actually started off with like six or seven concurrent viewers, and it's down to 4, but we're still here. So if you're
Hey,
waiting
you hear
for
me?
the main topic tonight, though, just know that this show, we're going to spend like 15, 20 minutes catching up on the week, going through our inadvertent thoughts, bullshitting, but we will get there because this is a topic that Mr. Jennings and I are ahead of the curve on because we've been talking about this shit for years now.
you hear me? Do you hear me now?
Oh, so speaking of which, you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going?
I didn't write anything down. I'm trying to remember back to Wednesday when we had the Hit the Showers episode, and I said I had like 3 of them that day.
Right. And you were
I'm
on the Hit the Showers episode, or at least pre-show.
I'm trying to think if I can pinpoint one of those that were bothering me because I do feel like they are closer to my grasp than normal.
Yeah.
Like I feel like one of those Presque Boo situations where it's right there, you just can't quite put your finger
tap
on
it.
But I'm hoping it's gonna come to me soon. Do you got anything in the mean?
You know, I really don't this week. The news was like kind of top of mind for me all week, man.
What was the news?
I mean, just it's gonna be our main topic, so unless we
okay,
want
I
to
see
jump
what you're
there,
saying.
like,
Is news even real anymore?
I mean, this shit all seems
think-
pretty real to me.
I think Donald Trump ruined news.
You're not
ruined it, but
no,
or
it became-
maybe he exposed it.
Well, and what's crazy is, so I was trying to do a little research for the topic tonight. And what I came across was like all the major media outlets, no one wanted to explain. But like all over fucking TikTok, there were people dropping like, no, this means this. This means this. This means this.
Right. They can't explain because they're a part of that culprit, that corporate entity, right?
Absolutely.
So if they say too much, it could be damaging. And if they going after niggas like this, you don't want a motherfucker to start doing that to you.
That's
Remember
true.
we had that conversation. But sometimes you got to peel back the onion. You got to go after the layers that don't matter to get to the core.
Right. Absolutely.
So, I know we're not jumping into it just yet, but all I'll say is Viva la Revolution. Shit, the fuck. But no, what I was saying was Trump. Yeah, Trump, he either exposed it or ruined it because when he was doing that fake news shit, that was the first that anybody's ever heard of that.
Yeah. I think that was more on either end of the spectrum. You heard that about the other side, whether it was the liberal media or right-wing media, like, and the thing is, guess what, everybody? They're all owned by the same fucking people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So my whole thing is by him saying fake news, whether it was aimed at one specific party's
I mean, he was obviously going after the MSNBCs and the CNNs, blah, blah, blah.
What we found out was, well, one, a lot of them were lying. But then what you saw was the CNNs, NBCs, CBS's pointing fingers back at Fox, airing out their lies as well.
Yep.
Like, It's not just us. And then the people were like, oh, y'all bitches is full of shit on both sides.
Right.
And then it kind of ruined news altogether to the point that the only people that's really watching news are senior citizens.
No doubt. Well, and like it is forced me, because I used to be a CNN guy, and honestly, 10 years ago, CNN wasn't as left-leaning as
I
it is
said
now.
CBS. Is that a news station?
Yeah, CBS.
Oh,
definitely has
okay. I
news.
thought that was like a Seventh Heaven, Dawson's Creek.
That's WB.
You know, like a.
But yeah, it's a TV
Oh, okay.
network, but it's also news. But anyways, the like CNN 10 years ago, it wasn't what it is today. Like I've been able to track, like, they have swung and swung and swung, and like they used to be 10, 15 years ago, they were more centrist. They're not anymore.
Right.
And what it has forced me to do is, when I like actually go to news sites, because I do like, not necessarily like, but I do try to stay informed. I use Reuters a fair amount because it's more global.
Shit, what's that?
It's more global news, and so you
Okay.
get a little bit more objectivity out of it. I don't think it's perfect either, but I use the Associated Press, which theoretically that's where a bunch of the networks get the stories that they use, and then they color it the way they want to color it. And then I actually just downloaded an app a couple of weeks ago. It's actually, I think it's called Straight Arrow News, or SAN. And what it does, it's actually kind of cool, because it'll tell you, like, here are the stories the left is covering. Here are the stories the right is covering. Here are the stories that no one's covering.
And you know what? It's funny. It's funny that you say that, because I'm going to have to take a moment to give you a few jabs for trying to make me out to be that guy. Because you know who my source is.
World Star.
World Star Hip Hop. Right. You feel what I'm saying?
And TikTok becomes more and more mine, but that's also dangerous, because I know there's a fair amount of just bullshit on there.
But see, that's the thing though, is it sounds ignorant, right? For you to be like, damn, you find this shit out on World Star Hip Hop. But in all actuality, I find it kind of genius, right? Because that is a site that purely operates out of entertainment.
Yeah.
There's no agenda. There's no one side, other side leaning. They just like, look at these dumbass motherfuckers. Look at these fools. And it's meant to be entertaining. So you get to deduce what you would like to from that news. Whereas if you go from a one side or another they're
side.
telling you what to gather from the situation.
That's fair.
But they're still ignorant. Let's not get it confused.
Oh, they
of course
definitely
they're ignorant. But
again, I'm with you. Like, what makes me, what concerns me is the ban is apparently going into effect on TikTok. Now, I think there are enough other similar things, but like, we know Meta is part of the deep state at this point. We know Elon and X are part of the deep state at this point. We know Google's in someone's pocket, or they are the pocket that the politicians are in the pocket of. So I don't know, man. Like,
well, was
TikTok,
that the whole reason why people like TikTok, is that they weren't a part of
the algorithm was the algorithm, at least traditionally, was more open, I think, is what the feeling was. Don't get me wrong, like Google, Facebook, Instagram, they've all copied what TikTok did, like in terms of reels and shorts and all that.
Right,
like, that's all originally the TikTok concept. And honestly, TikTok stole it from Vine. They just did it better. And 15 years ago, the short form content wasn't what people wanted. They wanted the long form content.
Right. I think we're getting back to that in a sense, but
I think it is a more balanced approach now. I think you and I have talked about this, and at some point I will find a fucking AI program to do clip outs of our show. But because to be frank, like, it should be the short form that leads to the long form content.
Exactly.
And,
I agree.
And so, from that standpoint, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Like, the TikTok thing will be interesting to see, like, where do people migrate to most? My gut is that it goes either Instagram or YouTube. It goes back to YouTube Because
see, I don't
YouTube has
think it
pushed
goes.
the shorts.
Well, of course there'll be higher numbers in YouTube, but YouTube can't be the next home base because it's not interactive like TikTok or Instagram is. Like, yeah, you could put your comments and do all that, but it's not geared towards community interaction.
Yeah, it's
like,
not geared to, but Instagram really isn't either. To like, TikTok is all about like the duets and stitches, and I feel like, I don't know, can you do that on Instagram? Maybe I just haven't fucked around with it enough.
I don't know. You really... maybe, and I guarantee if you can't now, you will be once they put that ban on TikTok. Right. I guess what I'm getting at is you don't have your profile on YouTube. It's not about you. It's about the content.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
They'll be there for people to watch content, but you won't see an influx of influencers, so to speak, that aren't making videos, just making posts.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm with you there.
So I think it'll go to Instagram, if I'm honest, because Twitter, for real, that's a cesspool.
It is. Ever since Elon took it over and rebranded it, absolutely, it's a cesspool.
It's a cesspool.
I mean, you can straight up get porn on there now.
I know.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. That don't get me started.
That's wild. That's wild, sir.
But I mean, if you look in the right areas, you can get it on YouTube too.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever come across straight porn on YouTube. But...
Not like...
No, X, like...
Not like
X,
Bukkake.
X, you could literally find just straight porn on X.
Yeah, there's definitely soft core on YouTube.
Oh, that I believe.
Like, you just don't see penetration, right? But you see everything else.
You see the naked bodies bouncing up and down, but you don't see it. So, all right, fair
Cinemax.
enough.
It takes you back to the Cinemax days.
Cinemax. We had to, if you turn the cord just right on the cable box.
Now listen, them was the scrambler days. That was if you got the right image at the right time, you might be traumatized back in them days. They was showing some shit.
You get the waves going across. You kept changing the channel back and forth to see if it would come in just a little bit more the next time.
Right. And you don't know whether you got guy cheeks or tits. And you're like, what are those? You see?
Oh,
is
yeah.
there nipple?
Damn it. I watched a gay porn once. The girls never came. The girls never came.
What was that from?
Euro Trip.
Yeah. Oh shit, them scramblers was different, boy.
No doubt.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, did any of your inadvertent thoughts come to you, or should we get into this topic?
Now let's just hop into it and we'll see if we get a late scheduled.
All right. So, CEO, United Healthcare, gunned down in the street. A gangland style assassination. Because they've shown the video. Dude pops out, pistol, silencer, pop, 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 gone. On the shell casings, according to reports, the words deny, defend, depose. Deny coverage. Defend that position. And depose. Take them to court and fight the legal battle so that you don't have to pay out for the medical procedure. That is the mantra of the United States health insurance system overall. And what's amusing to me is that other healthcare companies who were starting to push more and more towards what United, like their position, they all kind of backtracked when this CEO hit the ground in front of their fucking investor conference.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude got gunned down in front of the investor conference, and they kept the conference. That's like Owen Hart dying in the ring, and the show must go on.
Right. I mean, but at the end of the day, I've been saying it for years, and I'll be screaming it until the end of. They're all pussy. They're all pussy.
No doubt.
All of them are pussy. And you see how quickly tables are turning with just one. That's just one.
One of the top 5 companies in the United States. By my count, says we've got 4 more.
in New York, where guns aren't supposed to be legal, hella crowded.
Right.
Broad daylight. They didn't catch the guy, right?
No, they have not. And so honestly, there is a serious manhunt going on. And guess what? If you provide any evidence and you aren't a billionaire, you are a snitch and a class traitor.
I agree.
Period.
I agree. And you better hope that they, your name out of the papers too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's defendable with retaliation.
Absolutely.
For entertainment purposes only. But
allegedly. The lawyer lady up there.
I always feel like he's alleging my entertainment purposes up. Like this
I need to find serious. I need to find an entertainment purposes only button sound clip.
He trying to allege my entertainment. But what I'm getting at is you ain't catch a nigga like that in New York. That's inspirational.
No doubt.
Not like to me myself, but to a lot of people that
right. I'm not gonna go out and do that.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
However, if there are any mentally unstable people who are thinking about shooting up a school or a public venue, maybe point your anger in a different direction.
Maybe go to the shareholders meeting. I'm just saying. Right? Maybe do that. But we said that. We was before
I know. We were before our time on this one, man. What was our position is for our presidential campaign? If you make more than $500 million, you got to prove to us why you deserve to keep it.
Yeah, why can't you do that? And if you don't, and you don't get me wrong, you can still choose to make more. Just understand there may be consequences that come with that.
It's open season at that point.
You know what I'm saying? There may be consequences, so it'd be best.
Well, here's the best part about this. All right, let's say they do catch this assassin. That's what we'll call him. We'll call him an assassin. This vigilante.
I don't want to call him an assassin.
You call him
I just want to call him a disgruntled citizen.
A hero? All right, disgruntled citizen. Let's say they do catch him. How you gonna find 12 people that are gonna want to declare him guilty?
I never even thought about that. That is even more interesting.
The term is jury nullification. Because a jury can make the decision that even if they know someone's guilty, to not find them guilty for reason of justification, for reason of not believing in the law. There's all sorts of reasons why.
That's how I got out of jury duty.
Right, they didn't want you on.
Ironically,
I don't know what he did, but he's innocent.
Ironically,
wait, it's a cop. He's guilty. That motherfucker's guilty.
You hear me? Do you hear me? And I have no problem standing up and telling you exactly why you shouldn't have me on your jury platform.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna rule a black woman guilty of insurance fraud when insurance has been frauding everyone for years.
No,
you're not gonna get that out of me. So I don't know if I'm your guy, but I can give you my verdict now if you'd like it.
Right. Well, and I even just went through my own insurance stuff where dude pulled out and hit me, and honestly, there wasn't a ton of damage, so I didn't really care. But like, I called my insurance company. They're like, well, it sounds like he was at fault. You need to call his insurance company. His insurance company was like, nah, he said it was your fault. And I'm like, so nobody's going to pay to get this fixed is what you're telling me. But I still have to pay $1,000 a year, whatever it is. Like, it's not that high anymore. Actually, now it might be. Because, car insurance companies just raise the rates whenever they feel like for no fucking reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And
there you go.
Again, they don't pay out for anything, but it's legally required for me to have it?
Why is it legally required for any insurance? Like, you gotta have health insurance to show proof of cut. Like, bitch, what if I just want to die somewhere?
Right.
Why is that any of your business?
Man.
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It's all crazy. And if I'm being honest about this whole situation, I had to ask God for forgiveness because I was like, that made me smile.
No doubt. I'm with
Like
you.
that, when I saw that article, I was, the humanity in me was like, that's still wrong. That's a human being. But the humanity in me, it was also like, we need to get rid of all of them like that. And I don't mean all of them like that in that sense.
No, but here's
I mean,
the deal.
all of the people like that have to go, either willingly or unwillingly. We got to get rid of them.
And here's the thing. Like, I don't think all
for entertainment purposes only.
I don't think all CEOs are bad.
No, not even for entertainment purposes only, for real. That was real. Any greedy motherfucker like that, we need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Not entertainment, dead ass serious.
Well, and on top of that, again, like, not all CEOs are inherently evil. But when you have people's lives in your hands and you are making decisions to continuously deny coverage, or you are price gouging the shit out of them,
you're monetizing life at that point.
I don't care. I don't care if you're monetizing dollars. Like, going to the car insurance piece. They are paying for a service. You are not providing that service. But it's legally required for them to pay you to have that coverage. And you don't cover shit. Like, that is nothing but that is taking money out of people's pockets and not giving anything in return. And at that point, if you are a CEO of a company like that, and that is by your direction or your predecessor's direction and you haven't fixed it, open season, dude.
We're back on entertainment purposes only. Hit State Farm and Progressive now.
Or, like, here's the other side of it. You know, as much as people are going after RFK, the stuff he's saying about Big Farm and Big Agro and about how they're in cahoots to basically keep our health down, and we've talked about this with different stuff, like all the different chemicals and shit that they put in foods, that they put in everything. Like, guess what? If you're a CEO that has pushed that initiative within your company to make something more addictive, to make it more unhealthy or whatever the case is, guess what? Open season on you too.
I agree.
You are not providing a public service or a public good. You are directly contributing to public harm. And if you are a CEO of a company like that, I don't feel bad.
That would have probably been my first target. You know, because you're targeting the person, you're targeting the resolution, not the cause.
Right.
The cause was those motherfuckers who've been poisoning your food, your deodorant, your clothing, everything under the sun. You then got the cause and had to go through insurance for a resolution, and they chose to deny you. Wrong, yes, correct. But you're avoiding the culprit here being Big Pharma and the FDA.
Right. So
that's the big. So I mean, either way, I guess you do got to peel back those layers. But
and that's where, and you and I talked about this the week that Trump was elected. If he's putting people in place that are specifically going to tear those agencies down, fine. But then it's up to us as citizens to correct the errors of where that has led us thus far. And if that means, mass boycotts, those kind of things, fine. Right. If that means things like what happened in New York happening more, it is what it is.
You know what?
You have a choice as a leader at a company, as a leader in this country, whether it's of a company, of a city, of a state, to make the right choice. And if you're not going to make the right choice, do not be upset, do not be surprised when the people have had enough.
But we know, right. But we know that the CEO is subservient to the shareholders anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's not they could just be like, we're changing it. No, the shareholders won't let you change it. So I'm not saying like that's not a good person to look at, but I'm saying that he only has so much. Like, that's more like, okay, for entertainment purposes only, I feel like that would be, no, that wouldn't work either. That damn sure wouldn't work either.
Where were you going?
I'm gonna prefer not to say.
Okay.
I would prefer not to say. Well, no, it doesn't really matter. I was saying that seems like more of a kidnap situation than a murder situation, but at the same time, they don't care.
Right.
They don't care.
They'll just put another
him. We'll get another one.
Ain't nobody gonna pay for him.
Right. You can keep him. We'll get another one. So that wouldn't work either. And that's why they have to go, because when you got somebody that's that greedy,
right?
That's beyond. We're talking about beyond.
Here's the flip side. You take enough of them out, people aren't gonna want to be CEOs anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I mean, I go back to don't attack a minimum wage. Right. Attack the maximum wage. You can't make more than 10 times your lowest paid employee.
Right.
I think that's a perfectly fair and reasonable expectation.
I think so too.
Because then we come back to what I talked about tax corporations more and tax their profits, nothing else. Don't tax their revenue, tax their profits. Because they can make the decision as a positive company to invest that money back into their people.
Right.
And decrease their profits and up their expense.
Nah, I mean that's too much like right. That's too much like right. When it sounds right, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
But going back though, because I had something I wanted to get out. FDA, like RFK and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy about this, right, is if successful, and he's able to eliminate everything, with chemicals and do you know that we won't have anything at all?
No shit.
Like nothing. There will be no more McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, church, nothing at all. It may be the rise to the business, the regular businessman, because then you can pop back up with mom and pop burger shops and hot dog vendors and shit like that. But we won't have anything for years. Anything.
Homesteading is going to become real popular.
You would almost have to, just being honest, you would almost have to include like the farmers and their association in on it before it took place.
Yeah. Because
we need you to start upscaling
breeding out all the steroids and harmful chemicals that you're using to mass produce these animals.
Because once we take all this stuff off of the shelves, there's going to be nothing for anyone to eat for 2 weeks unless you double what you're doing for us right now.
Right.
Because there'll be no Tyson chicken. No, it'll be. I'm telling you, there will be nothing.
But here's the flip side: is that it would never be a point in time cut over. Like it would be we're gonna go after this, and then we're gonna go after this, and then we're gonna go after this. And unfortunately, you can't do all that in 4 years. You just won't be able to.
Right.
And honestly, my fear is that if you go after.
But you know what? That's cool,
it's
right?
Leaving it with no regulation, which that scares me more.
Wait, what?
If you take the regulation out of it, that scares me more because then they can put more shit into it, and who's gonna stop?
Well, who said that? Who said that they're taking the regulation out of it?
Well, I'm just saying Trump is basically staffing these agencies with people that want to dismantle them.
And they should be dismantled, but I don't think that
rebuild them with the right.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that just leaving
which is
them
fine. Let Trump
tear
it all down and let the next president and their staff build it all back up.
Well, see, and that could work, right? Because if he tears it all down for the better, and then we get somebody else that comes in and tries to like put it back in a sense, basically, that the people are watching you like this, like what was that? You know what I'm saying? So we know the enemy. If you we reversing with Trump. Oh, is that right? You're gonna add the shit? Okay, so now fuck the CEOs. We can see who to go after now.
Right.
You're clearly trying to hurt motherfuckers, so you're the enemy. So I mean, either way, it works because if nothing else, you're pulling down the veil.
Right. I agree with that statement.
Now, in order to reverse what he's done, you have to look like the bad guy.
Right.
And if people are already upset to the point of mafia killing a guy in broad daylight in New York City, I imagine you'd be hesitant in 4 years to start rolling back all the change he made.
Now I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I really hope, I mean this. I really hope that it was an upset average citizen.
Right.
And it wasn't a professional hitter hired by a shareholder because this dude dumped, I think it was like $78 million worth of stock 2 weeks ago.
Well,
like that would bug me. That would make me upset. Well, I want this guy to have the moral high ground. I don't want him to be doing it for some other billionaire.
Well, let me explain to you. I don't know that there would be any paid assassin that would be carving anything into
a bullet.
shell cases.
That's fair.
Let alone a saying.
Right. No, it was on different shells. It was on different shells.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In order. Like which one? This was the first shot. So the first was defend. Oh, shit.
No, deny. Denies the first one.
Okay, deny. Then defend. He ordered his shell casings.
I'm just glad he didn't miss with the first shot. You know what I mean?
He Boondock Saints these niggas, for real. Boondock Saints these niggas.
I mean, that has been like what people have been like referencing the most about this.
He Boondock Saints these niggas, for real.
Do not rape, do not kill, do not steal. These are principles which
Listen,
every man of every faith can embrace.
If he would have dropped down to one knee and a rosary would have slid out of his coat sleeve, I'd have said, we know who did that shit. We don't need Willem Dafoe to tell us who the fuck did that shit.
Meanwhile, like all I can think of in my head, before he pops onto the video camera, he's just eyes shut, head down, and shepherds we shall be for thee, my Lord, for thee. Blessed.
We need more shepherds.
No doubt. Oh man,
we need more shepherds. That's crazy.
So,
but what was you about to say?
I was gonna move us on a little bit.
Move us on.
So meanwhile, a healthcare CEO is getting gunned down in the streets. The Congress is going after the entire airline industry about their price gouging. Like the one senator I saw was like, tell me how it makes sense that one customer pays $99 to check their bag and another customer pays $10 or pays nothing. Like, how do you determine who pays what?
Right.
And dude could not answer it. I think it was Spirit Airlines, which they're trash anyways. But these senators were ripping apart Delta, United, Spirit, American, like... So seeing senators actually going after some of these companies about these ridiculous tactics. And guess what? It was both sides that were ripping into these motherfuckers. So we have another like microcosm of a battle happening here. But while that's happening, William Rothschild's house burns down with him inside of it.
I heard that wasn't him though.
Oh no? I hadn't heard that.
I sent you the message.
Oh damn, I missed it.
Yeah, it was. They said that it wasn't him. It was actually he went by that, but his last name was actually like Collins or something like that, and he wasn't actually a Rothschild. But that's not. But
he was still a millionaire, billionaire, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah.
He was
that's
still
not
rich.
to take away from your point, though,
right.
Because if this wasn't an accident, you still thought you had the right target. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, all I'm saying is I don't see
the wrong last name to fake.
Right. And all I'm saying is I don't see a ton of people upset about either one of these.
I'm surprised that I didn't know that there were hella of them that lived here.
No, I don't think so. But
I was about to say, why would the regular person allow that?
Right. No,
real talk, like it would be an old school blacks moving into a sundown town. We don't take your kind around here. it'd be best for you to leave before something happens to you. That I don't understand it.
Well, and what was interesting, it's funny you say that, because I saw another commenter or another reel or TikTok or whatever that said something about, now don't think that we're going to be able to just start gunning down CEOs. All it's going to do is add to the security detail line item in someone's budget.
No, I don't think that should matter.
I agree.
That just means that you aim for the security and the CEO.
Right. You
Make
wanna,
it harder for
is that who you
them
want
to
protect?
get security, right? Make it harder for them to find security, and I guarantee you, it'll start getting easier again.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Why would you wanna? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like you would have to pay me crazy bread as a security guard, and not even because of the threat of danger, right? But for me to just turn
to
a
give up your
blind
own morals,
right? And I like to think that there's not a price on that.
Right.
But in actuality, we know that potentially they can offer you something you're like, fuck that, I'm taking it.
I can't say no to that.
Right.
Right.
But I don't know. I just don't understand why anybody, and that's their budget wouldn't account for all that money.
Right.
And even if you're picking people who have no morals, you still got to worry about the active war on these people taking place right now. This isn't just a average security job.
No.
This isn't even a celebrity security
job. Right.
This may be more dangerous than Secret Service with the president at this point. Is it worth it?
Right.
Is it worth it to you?
Is that what you want?
You know? Because I'm just saying, when a nigga feels the need to carve into shell casings, he was the guy. He was like, I am jumping this bitch off right now.
Right.
That was what that was.
Well, and that's where, like, that's part of the reason why the title of the podcast today is Deny, Defend, Depose, the Revolution Begins.
Listen, it better, because I've been saying people are pussy for years. But that's what that was the whole point. The whole point of the United States government over the past 15 to 20 years was to domesticate the average man.
Right.
You know, take that virile, that wild out of them. Because if we have a whole bunch of soft ass pussy niggas running around here, we don't gotta worry about going to war with them.
Right.
So we're gonna go after hyper masculinity. We're gonna go after all of these things that create a fighter, so that we just have a whole bunch of house cats running around, and then we can do whatever we want. They've been doing that for years. It's succeeded to a point, not all the way. You know what I'm saying? There's still points of the country that rhetoric didn't reach. You're not gonna hit me with the soft guy. That's not what we do around here. Yeah. And even the women know that's not what we do around here. Miss us with that. And that's how you get the hyper extreme right and the hyper extreme left. That's where that comes from.
Which, as above, so below, all exists on a spectrum. It's the same
coin. Right. But this here, my only concern is because this is a alley-oop right here. For entertainment purposes only. This man just threw the ball right up in front of the rim. And it's the only thing left is for us to jump and put it through.
Yep.
That's it. That's all that's left. And if we don't do that, I feel like the government knows they got us where they want us.
Yeah.
Even though one man decided to do this. And maybe it takes a few more. You know, maybe that specific guy has to, because you already did this, right?
Right.
even though nobody knows who you are, you already did, so you might as well go all in, right? And continue
because his
this is our Batman.
Yes. And again, because his face has been all over the news, I will reiterate: if you know this man, if you know his whereabouts, and you betray him.
Oh wait, his face has been on the news.
Yep.
How did they find out?
Because he was flirting with some hotel clerk, I think. He got caught on camera looking up. But again,
yeah, he's definitely.
If you turn this dude
citizen.
in, you are a class traitor, and you deserve everything that will come to you. Have the day you deserve.
Well, I mean, let's keep it a buck. If it's yeah, that's y'all's people. That's y'all's people. You need to send a PSA out to y'all's people because we mind our business anyway. Only black folks snitching nowadays are rappers. You hear what I'm saying? Because
Actually, you asked me what I saw. I didn't see shit, man. Actually, I'm blind out my right eye. Like,
they was probably on the street, like, oh shit, well, another one bites the dust. Let's keep it moving.
So I know our conversation thus far has been focused on things happening here at home in the United States. South Korea, the president of South Korea just decided to try to declare martial law and was overturned not more than 3 hours later by the rest of the government when people started going after the rest of the government. So, if anybody's looking for a playbook for should Trump try to declare martial law, rewind to this time and check that stuff out.
South Korea, though.
Right.
One of the most subservient countries out there.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's bubbling. And we've been talking about this.
We have.
It's all it is a bunch of greedy people trying to rape the market for everything it's got before the bubble pops.
Right.
And this is the bubble popping. This is the bubble popping right now. So it's gonna get pretty ugly over the next few. If my if my assumptions are accurate.
Yeah.
Because when you got somebody like South Korea doing something like that, and you know that they still have some sort of a play for us here before that inauguration date. There is some sort of play.
There's something. And it's been brewing, and it's going to be Project Bluebeam, dude.
I don't know that
because
it is
we
at
have
this
been
point.
seeing more and more. There have been more UAP drones going into the ocean type shit, and like people are actually getting video. Like there's shit ton of video off of both coasts of this shit happening. And as much as I want to believe it's aliens or interdimensional beings or us from the future, it is them setting up Project Bluebeam.
I mean, it could be. I would think, though, even with Project Bluebeam.
Maybe Musk is actually Trump's inside man to either keep it from happening. Maybe he's countering Project Bluebeam from the deep state. I don't know. I don't know that I believe that we really have the technology to do all that, but we might. But I'm with you, dude. Like they are teeing something else up.
Yeah. Before the inauguration. Right. I think it's going to be disease.
Quite possible. Did you see?
That's the only thing that would keep people inside,
Did you see the there's actually a case in Ohio, some flu variant from the Republic of Congo.
Oh shit.
That they have somebody in isolation actually in Cleveland.
For real?
Because he came back, was sick, got
what's it, the gorilla flu?
I have no idea, but another variant apparently of some major flu. And it is killed, I think they were saying like somewhere between like 15 and 30 people, almost all teenagers.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That kids and it's young kids and like adolescents that are getting it.
Right.
I actually had a couple cases before at my,
Yeah. That's crazy, man. And that could be it. And although, didn't they say...
But that wouldn't be the right target to me.
Didn't they say it was 10 years? It was 10 years from the last one that we should expect.
The real COVID to hit. Right. The one that they said would be 10 times stronger, but would last less
It'd
than
be
half the
shorter,
time
right.
or something like that.
I mean, pandemic isn't. Yeah.
But my whole thing is that couldn't be it to me because it seems like that specific flu targets the kids.
Right.
Like
But
there's parents that are caring for the kids that haven't contracted it.
But here's the problem, Cliff. What is the number one way to get people to more accept the restrictions like we had during COVID than to say that it kills kids?
Or one of two things could be true, and it's always a gamble. You never know which side the needle is going to fall on. That could either be the case, or you have people that specifically hold the government accountable for their child's death, and there is no turning back from what's
At
about
that
to happen.
point.
Because truth be told, if you could give me a name as to how my mom contracted what she contracted, I'd be carving something into a few shell casings.
Yeah.
So if you did that with someone's child, at that point,
yeah,
it's gonna be a mixed bunch. It's gonna be people that are coming.
Honestly, what you do at that point is you take people's reason to not get involved away. Because you want to know the reason why I don't do half the shit I've thought about doing? My child. You ever take that reason away from me?
Right.
I ain't got nothing left.
You are absolutely right.
I got nothing left at that point.
Absolutely right. You're right. You're right. And it's up from here.
Right.
So I don't know. I would think if that was your goal, it would be targeted at the middle-aged to, like 30s demographic, because those are your warriors. Those are the ones that you're going to have to deal with.
But here's what's interesting on that note. You had COVID-19 mostly affected the elderly. You overcompensate. If this is genetically engineered, you overcompensate and you go too young. Maybe they're zoning in on the right target.
Right. Right. And maybe that's where the 10 years comes into play.
Maybe.
Because it clearly took you a while to get it down to young.
Right.
So if it takes you just as long to get it in the middle, if it takes just as long to get the porridge just right, we're probably around that 10-year mark at that point.
Yep. It's wild.
Treacherous motherfuckers, man.
And last but not least in world news,
they need to declare martial law in Wuhan. Y'all motherfuckers need to start. Can we get a rally in Wuhan? Can we get a overthrow a laboratories?
So, overthrowing people, speaking of which, the people have called for the resignation of French President Emmanuel Macron.
Macron.
I don't know. It's French. And he has basically said that he will not. Let's see. There was a no confidence vote in Parliament that basically ousts him, is what it should be doing. And he has said that he is going to stay in office, but all of this is driven by the people again. And so France's government overturned, basically. South Korea's government overturned. In America, we're gunning down CEOs and setting billionaires on fire.
I still think we're pussy.
I hear you, but we've been saying it for a couple years now. This feels like precipice tipping point events.
No, I definitely agree. And
it's not going to be a single nation's revolution. It will be a global revolution.
Right. Ooh, what if that was the real reason for World War III?
Is that World War III is not government versus government? It's government versus their own people.
Versus people, and they just use it to look like government versus government, but really we're just attacking casuals.
Right, which is why they say, like, there's Russian or Chinese interference in our elections, is so that they can use that as an excuse when they start gunning down people here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Continuing the divide and conquer and giving people an enemy to think it is.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
a reason to
listen.
turn on your own.
And don't get me wrong, that can't be working either, right? Because you see an increase of Putin sympathizers now. Was he wrong? Was he the bad guy? Because based off the history, we're starting to see what America really is. I'm kind of feeling like Putin wasn't. You hear all that all the time now.
Well, it's the same thing with the Israel-Palestine Middle East crisis.
Right.
And now you got
now
you've got like us trying to force regime changes. Well, I don't know that we're necessarily behind it, but regime changes in Iran and Syria.
Right.
Like, dude, it's an intense time right now. We're getting the I don't want to say the privilege, but maybe it is to live through it.
I don't know though, but we talked about it on shows back in the day, like years ago. Maybe that shit's true. Like that
it's
post
the cycle.
that people were
the
saying
turning.
that the people who chose to be alive during this time are the fighters.
Yep.
There's a reason why they're here right now.
Well, it was the whole what was we were talking about it was the turnings, I think, right? It was the first turning is the boom, or was the silent generation. Second turning was the boomers.
Oh, is that what that was?
Gen X. Fourth turning is millennials, and like it's the cycle repeats itself basically every 80 years, but it's every 20 years that you have like the prophets, the artists, the warriors,
right,
the blah,
right,
blah, blah.
right. It's coming back now. So
that's what it feels
I don't know.
like.
Maybe this is what. Maybe it's not a privilege. Maybe it's a birthright.
Yeah.
We got to go through this. This is what it was supposed to be.
I think it's fair. I mean, I would challenge anybody older than us to talk about similar situations. Like, and I bet there are, but when they were coming up, when they were growing up, like I'm sure Reitz is in the chat. Like if she, we just rattled off 4 kind of huge events that all took place within a week of each other.
Right.
Like, I hear us talk about like the Kennedy assassination or the Challenger or Dr. King's assassination. Them shits was all like 5-10 years apart. Right. We're talking about stuff that happened back-to-back week, like within a week.
I mean, it's no mistake. It really doesn't matter what happened in what generation. Like there's something bigger than that's ever been brewing.
Right.
That we know. We know that for a fact. Something bigger than we've ever seen before is currently brewing. We just don't know what's in the pot.
Bigger iteration or bigger than this iteration of humanity has.
Right. Is what I'm not saying it's the biggest event.
No, because
and it quite possibly could be. It could be even bigger than the Great Floods and even bigger than all of that.
It took out Atlantis and it took out the Sumerians.
Right. We don't know yet. We don't know. I mean, one would hope it isn't, but we don't know.
But that means we're heading towards. Well, it goes back to the disruption of the 2020s. We're either heading towards utopia or dystopia.
Right.
We're either heading towards extinction or we're heading towards the promised land.
It's ugly to say and cringy to hear, but it's true. Sometimes you need blood in the streets before you get your utopia.
That's true.
Just because we're heading to a situation like this doesn't mean that this is the destruction of all. It could be the cleansing.
Even in the utopian society of Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation, how did they get there? They had to go through World War III before they could make contacts with aliens.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. Even then. Like...
I didn't know that.
And you don't see a lot of stories about, like, a utopian Earth. Like, that's one of the reasons why, and one of the things that I always kind of gravitated towards with like Star Trek was because it was this ideal that humanity could finally evolve past the things that have tripped us up. War, famine, whatever the case is. And you don't see that in storytelling much. Like, especially not in the last 30 years, because that has all been dystopian future, whether it's apocalyptic or whatever.
Because they would rather have you focus on that than the utopia. Because
Right.
once you start focusing on the utopia, your mind naturally starts asking, how can we accomplish
How can we get
it?
there?
And the only way to accomplish it is to spill blood on the streets.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to get to that conclusion. Let's just have them focus on zombies and aliens and catastrophe and, you know,
Disaster,
world events that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my whole thing is shit. Like I said, if it's the birthright, then I guess we got to ride into the fire sometimes.
we here.
You know? It's got to be a climax.
I don't know, man.
It's scary to think about.
Murphy's
but I mean,
Law. Murphy's Law can always get worse.
You live once. If that's what it takes to make sure your baby's life is better, then shit.
You're not wrong.
Fuck
Man.
'em.
Man.
Fuck them in engraved shell casing style.
The cry of the revolution.
That's deep, though. That's
Deny,
deep. That's some
defend,
deep
depose.
shit. I would like to see images of the engraving. Like, was it like sloppily done with a knife, or did a guy have one of those, you know, vibrating things that you can
Like an etch, like one of those.
yeah, like how is
laser
it done
etchers.
exactly? I would like to see, because that I feel like it would give me insight as to who we're dealing with here. And I'm hoping that it's sloppily carved in with a whole bunch of scratches, because that it might just be the hero we need. Yeah, we didn't got our superhero. We was just talking about all these villains ain't no superheroes. Looks like we might have got one.
Damn, I was trying to see if they've given if anybody has published a picture of it yet. I can't find one.
Mm-hmm. I just hope they scratchy.
No, they're laser engraved.
Yeah, I don't like that, because then that seems like that could be a agent saboteur. You know, agent.
No doubt.
You're an agent provocateur right there. You're trying to get the people to think, to get them to do something. I know how chess works, bitch. We need to see those shell casings.
Right. Give us pictures, please. That's nuts, man.
I don't know. Maybe 2025 is the rise of the vigilante.
Maybe we finally get our Batman.
You know, or at least our gay musketeer. What was his name?
What?
You know what I'm talking about? Remember.
Oh, the 5th of November.
Yeah. What's his name?
V.
He?
V, as in
Oh,
V for Vendetta.
Oh, I thought it was a real person, though.
Oh, you're talking Guy Fawkes. Yeah.
Okay, that's the name
That's
I'm
the
thinking.
real person. I mean, I am all for...
Did he wear makeup?
I mean, no more than anybody else in that time did.
That's fair.
I am all for the Boondock Saints. So, although they went after criminals, not CEOs, from what I remember.
What's the difference?
Fair. Good point. Touche, Mr. Jennings.
Yeah, what's the difference? And again, not all CEOs, but definitely this one.
Right.
So I feel like we're still on, Boondock Saints path.
Oh, did you, so circling back to CEOs, so published online, and I don't remember if I saw what company it was for, but it was another healthcare insurance company. Basically, a day or two after the hit, sent out a memo to employees basically requiring them to sign a loyalty pledge. that said, I will not talk ill of the insurance industry. I know that CEOs are important to the functioning of a business. There were like 3 other bullet points in this list.
And what if I don't sign?
You're terminated.
And that's fine. How does unemployment pay out for something like that?
Right, no doubt.
I'll print out the email and take it to the office. What they gonna pay me out for that?
Right. Like, can
Be
you
on
believe
unemployment
that?
for the rest of my life? They're like, don't even worry about paying this back.
Can you believe that shit, man?
That's
Like,
crazy. That's crazy. I mean, but that's
I mean, rather than responding, like, there are other ways they could have responded. Like,
you're
we are going to
more. You're creating more of him,
Yep.
and that's a good thing.
Yep.
But see,
fair.
that's how disillusioned that these people at the top are. That before that they would get to the solution of just treat people better and fairly.
Well, and you know that this wasn't like just sent to call it director level people. You know the reason this got out is because they went down to like call center associates with this shit.
Right. That's what I mean. Right.
It's like, you ain't paying me enough to sign this shit.
Right.
And I mean, I get, like, especially with no compete clauses being illegal now. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Wait, what's that? What's that mean?
No compete. So, especially when you are further up in a company, basically they'll make you sign agreements that you won't go work for a competitor within a certain amount of time of leaving the company.
Really?
Yeah. I've had to sign them.
I'm not signing that either. I'm not signing that.
I hear you.
Because I don't know how that's gonna go here. Because basically what you're doing is you're saying.
Basically, though, it does say that if you're terminated, that doesn't apply anymore.
Oh, okay, then I just got to get fired. But see, that also, you're putting a blemish on your record in order to get out of a situation, right? Because essentially what you're telling me is you can work here, but if you ever quit, you got to go into a different field.
True.
I can't then take my experience to everybody's a competitor at that point.
Right.
So I can't be employed.
Well, they're
in
also
this same field.
they are notoriously hard to defend unless you're going into very specific. Like, if I had gone immediately from my previous employer to another financial services company, I would have been nailed for it.
But that's where your experience lies.
I agree. However, I wanted to get out of financial services, so it didn't bother me. But
yeah, no, I'm not signing no bullshit like that. That's why I say all money ain't good money, G. And that's the thing. You're offering me crumbs, right? Like, even if you bump my salary up to 100,000, it's not enough.
No,
that's not enough. And as the guy who is getting half of that, it's still not enough for me to be signing any additional documentation saying anything.
So Cliff's not signing a loyalty pledge, is what I heard.
I'm not signing no shit like that. No, I'm not going to speak ill about the company.
Right.
Because that's your shit. Let them dumb motherfuckers find out on their own.
Right.
That's your business. But as far as me getting employed somewhere else, that's none of your fucking business.
I do not disagree.
I'm not a football coach.
Right.
I can't tell them you're
playing. You can't even do that with football coaches, because football coaches absolutely are going to go in with all their experience and knowledge. Right.
That's what I'm saying. I.e. John Gruden will never fucking forget, bitch. Yeah, got a Super Bowl playing your ex team just so happened the year that you. Man, come on now. But he could have had to sign a motherfucking loyalty clause with his shit. Then he can give the actual plays away. What am I going to give away for me going from United Healthcare to Molina?
Right.
What information are you so scared that I may provide that they don't already fucking know?
Right.
Y'all all operate under the same umbrella
shit.
by the same design. They know your plays before you make them.
And insurance companies notoriously carve up territory.
What's that mean? What you mean by that?
Meaning they operate in like specific states. Like United does not operate in a lot of the same places that an Aetna does or an Anthem does.
Right. Kind of like the gas company and the electric company and
or
all
the
that.
cable company. Like,
right.
Because it's all a rigged fucking game.
Right.
They carved up the U.S. a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you pray for companies like Root or, I don't know of any in the healthcare space off the top of my head, but like you pray for those disruptors that can come in and basically say, I'm not playing by those rules.
Right.
But the problem is that those companies are so big that they're able to squash and keep players out of it because the U.S. has become like as capitalistic as we are straight anti-competition.
Right. It's a monopoly.
It's 50 companies that sit at the top, and those 50 companies don't change.
Right.
That's not even talking about.
They didn't want.
That's not even talking about the companies that own the other companies within the 50.
Right. Because then it goes down to 5,
and the
7.
Whoever else. Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying, man. Peel back the onion is all I'm saying. What's a onion peeler brand?
I don't know.
We need a brand of onion peeler, and that's gonna be the name of this superhero. The triple D's. The triple D's, dude. We need an onion peeler brand. We couldn't do that because it's probably gonna be something Chinese.
Honestly, you know what we should call this dude? John Q.
John Q?
Just call him John Q.
I definitely see how you got there, how you arrived there. But I don't think that John Q...
He didn't kill anybody.
First of all, John, he wasn't menacing, right?
He didn't kill anybody. He specifically only wanted to kill himself.
Right. This is almost like an anti-hero.
Right.
Like, yeah, you are a hero, but
I mean, is this
this as wicked as these wicked motherfuckers are?
Is this the Punisher?
Could be a Punisher, but we can't call him the Punisher.
No. We gotta
because
find a
the
new
Punisher
name.
is the Punisher.
Right.
That's why we need he's the
name.
onion peeler. I'm trying to tell you. This guy's the OP. He's the onion peeler. Now, as soon as the news announces a vigilante name for him, we're gonna know we're in a movie.
Right. It's all written by then. I want to see him.
Showcasing images are gonna come out, and you're right. They're gonna be etched in there like an old school Western engraving, and we're gonna be like, "Oh, them bullets came that way with them words on it." This nigga bought custom bullets to kill the. That's how you knew who he was.
You know what? That's a great business idea right now.
Custom bullets.
Let's just go buy a ton of ammunition, Cliff, and start carving deny, defend, depose into them. And we'll sell them for double
that
the
might
case
not
of the shell.
be. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Do you need it? You would need a machine for that.
No. That's why we can charge so much for them, Cliff.
Oh, they're hand scratched.
They're hand scratched.
And you want them now? You know my deny, defend, depose are going to be real. You know, they're going to be hella scratchy.
It's hard.
They're going to be like, oh, there's something wrong with this guy right here. Yeah, he meant those words that he put. He took the time to super scratch. Each letter had to have taken him about an hour. I can't. Yeah.
Man.
That's 50. That's a 50 bullet box. Golly, that's 50 hours. That's a whole week's pay right there. You on one box of bullets, how much you charging for these bullets here?
That's what I said. You charge double, triple.
Shit. double or triple would still be less than hey, the fuck. You gonna have carpal tunnel and a low bank account.
Oh, it's
Fuck
just a
that.
thought. We get a stamp.
And like, motherfuckers, I bought a box of etched in bullets, but halfway through I saw that they were just Sharpie on. Now I'm disputing the charges with my credit card company.
Hey, credit card companies are another good target. But anyways.
You didn't hear it from me, folks. You heard it from me, folks.
Oh,
shit.
man.
That's funny. Who would have
Thanks,
thought
credit
that
cards.
a topic? So I don't know. Maybe at this point you just gotta laugh to keep from crying. But no, I am genuinely amused by it as well, and that's where I'm like, forgive me, Lord, but I'm hoping I see more of this. You know,
I can't argue with
I'm
that
just
statement.
being honest. I apologize, but I'm being honest. It's the only way to fix what's going on here.
No, because they've pushed us to the brink, and
Right.
they deserve what's coming at this point.
You know, hide the Bible if God watching.
They not like us. They not like
You know,
us.
I ain't tell you what to do. Just hide the Bible while you do it. If God watching.
Oh man! All right, sir. What else we got? You got any of those inadvertents come back?
I feel like we.
I feel like
far away from anywhere I was thinking when we first started the show. I was kind of hyped. That little poetry girl.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of scary to me, but the poem itself
Yep.
elicited the same reaction as like a hype song would before you going to play a football game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of got that. I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it without sounding like a crazy person. But I mean, I guess, you know, the 6 viewers of the show probably already know.
They figured it out by now, if nothing else.
It's not that I'm not. I'm just probably not on that spectrum as, you know, they, you know. But I'm definitely on the spectrum.
Well, I think too, like, it's been interesting. Because usually when you see something like this, like, I don't know, when a submarine gets crushed in the ocean, you'll see at least a couple of people being like, oh, that's sad, and like, we shouldn't make fun of it, and like, I haven't seen any of that.
Right. I mean, that because it comes with the territory. At the end of the day, I know that bullets shouldn't be flying to CEOs, but when you have nefarious activities in your business practices, then you should assume bullets may be flying at me at some point of my career. So it comes with the territory. If you want to make money off of screwing people over with health and life benefits, I feel like shit should be flying at you from time to time.
Right. Maybe
I'm not going to say what. But
question,
you know,
some of your decisions once in a
maybe
while.
a can from a car, a bottle from a passerby, a carved bullet from a vigilante. You know, shit should be flying at you.
If profits are your only motive in a business, you're in the wrong business.
Well, it depends on what business, right?
I don't think it does.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it definitely depends on what business when it comes to situations.
All right,
like
you're right. OnlyFans models, get your money, girl.
I mean, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that people are willing to spend the money on makes sense.
Get your money.
But when you're talking about actual life,
right?
At that point, yeah, how can you? There shouldn't be a big margin of income or profit that you're receiving in a you know, a business like that.
Right.
You're not here for that if you're here.
Yeah.
In this line of business, health and
Well, and it's interesting. Like I saw a great quote kind of with all of this stuff this week that was like, capitalism isn't inherently evil, but government is here to keep capitalism in check, and government has failed its job.
right.
And
right.
so,
yeah, no, I'm not
government,
against capitalism by no means, but
if government is not doing its job, then it's up to the people. And we had revolutions about this shit. This is why this country is here.
Right. Until Onion Pillar strikes again.
Right.
And then you're going to have everybody stand up in the courtroom. That's the thing. You said finding a jury that's going to be able to, and people are going to say, I'm Onion Pillar. And then somebody else is going to stand up and say, I'm Onion Pillar. It's going to be 50 Onion Pillars stood up in a courtroom by the end of the trial. Because we all got a little Onion Pillar in us.
I just had a friend send me a text on this topic, so I wonder if they're watching tonight. But all jokes aside, it's really fucked up to see so many people on here celebrating murder. No one here is the judge of who deserves to live or die. That's the job of the AI algorithm, the insurance company designed to maximize profits on your health and no one else.
Who is that? You don't have to say his name. But
no,
touche.
It was a repost from
Wild
Geerters on X, it looks like.
Yeah, that's pretty genius right there. That's pretty genius.
Oh no, we don't use that AI exclusively. Bullshit. You have created AIs that are designed to maximize your profits and do everything you can to get away with it. And you know what? We're not standing for it anymore. We're not.
Listen, don't get us having to peel an onion. That's all I got to say.
I'm with you. And this has been a good episode.
And if you need your custom-made bullets, you're going to have to put your order in 2 months in advance for that 50 box. You hear me? I don't got nothing.
You got nothing? I got nothing. This has been a great episode. And, since we had a couple of new viewers out there tonight, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell an enemy to tell them to troll. And do us a favor. Do all that shit on Spotify, because Spotify is the easiest place to get monetized right now. Thank you.
Oh, is that right?
You got anything?
Hey, don't tell the healthcare if they, if they the enemy, don't tell them to troll. We don't need they trolling in here. Keep that to yourself.
And please remember, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the Foolproof Entertainment Network Incorporated. Thank you.
Allegedly. The lawyer lady.
Allegedly. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I was kidding. I was only kidding.
And with all that,
peace out, fools.